Okay, this is the reading and the notes for Module 2B.1, Dictators Threaten World Peace. So in the last section, you saw the effects of the New Deal reforms in the United States during the Great Depression. And in this section, you will see how economic and political conditions in Europe and Asia in the 1930s gave rise to expansionist totalitarian states. So we're not going to fill in the chart below, but I will take you over to the notes for you to pause and copy. So nationalism grips Europe and Asia. How did dictators take power in Europe and Asia? Woodrow Wilson had the hope that the Treaty of Versailles would provide a just and lasting peace among the world's most powerful nations. However, the treaty mostly caused anger and resentment. The government was angry about losing territory it considered Germany, as well as being blamed for starting the war. The Soviet Union resented losing its territory. The peace settlement failed to make the world safe for democracy as Woodrow Wilson had hoped. New democratic governments, hurt by economic and social problems, floundered and turned into dictatorship. So go ahead and hit pause, and these are the notes that you're filling in on your guided notes. In the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin came to power in 1924. He was a ruthless leader who let nothing stand in his way. Stalin focused on creating a model communist state. He wanted to stamp out private enterprise. He did away with private farms and created collectives or huge state-owned farms. The state also took over industry. Stalin made the Soviet Union into a leading industrial power, but he also made it into a police state. Anyone who criticized him or his policies was arrested by the secret police. Many were executed. Stalin purged his opponents, and this was also called the Great Purge. Millions of others died in famines caused by Stalin's restructuring of Soviet society. It is believed that Stalin was responsible for between 8 and 13 million deaths in the Soviet Union. Stalin created a totalitarian government, a government with complete control over its citizens. Individuals had no rights, and the government put down all opposition. I put some notes in here. Kulaks were wealthy landowners of the Soviet Union, and they did not want to collectivize. Thus, they were an opponent of Stalin, and they were sent to the gulags or the political labor camps in the Soviet Union, and many died there. And that goes along with his purge. So go ahead and hit pause and take these notes down. At the same time, Benito Mussolini was creating a totalitarian state in Italy. His political movement was called fascism. It was based on a strong, centralized government headed by a dictator. Fascism grew out of extreme nationalism. Mussolini, called Il Duce, or the leader, was known for his efficiency in running all aspects of Italian life. But he did not want the government to own farms and factories. Fascism was actually anti-communist. So go ahead and hit pause and complete the notes. In Germany, another fascist party came to power under the leadership of Adolf Hitler. Hitler's political philosophy was called Nazism. He hoped to unite all German-speaking people into a new German empire or Reich. He believed that the Germans, especially blonde, blue-eyed Aryans, were the master race. According to Hitler, Aryans were meant to have power all over inferior races, such as Jews and non-whites. Hitler believed that Germany needed to expand to gain territory so that the German people could thrive. This was a word he used called Lebensraum, which means to get more living room for the German people. Nazism combined extreme nationalism, racism, and expansionism. It appealed to the unemployed, desperate, and resentful Germans during the Great Depression. In the 1932 elections, the Nazi Party gained power. Hitler became chancellor in January 1933. He did away with the Weimar Republic, which was Germany's democratic government, and set up the Third Reich, or the Third German Empire. Go ahead and hit pause and take the notes down for this section. And I have a typo in there. Let's see. There we go. Meanwhile, in Asia, military leaders had taken over Japan. They believed that Japan needed more land and resources, just like Germany. Japan attacked Manchuria, province of China, in 1931. The League of Nations protested, but Japan left the League and kept Manchuria. The League's failure to stop Japan made Hitler and Mussolini bolder. Hitler sent troops into the Rhineland and rebuilt the German army. These acts broke the Versailles Treaty. Mussolini captured the African nation of Ethiopia. Haile Selassie, the leader of Ethiopia, asked for the League for help. When the League did nothing, he said, "It is us today. It will be you tomorrow." In Spain, the fascist General Francisco Franco led a rebellion to overthrow the elected government. Many volunteers went to Spain to fight the fascists. These volunteers felt that Spain was a place to stop fascism and defend democracy. The government of the Western democracies sent only food and clothing to democratic forces in Spain. Hitler and Mussolini supported Franco with troops and weapons. When Franco won in 1939, Europe had another totalitarian government. So hit pause and get the notes for Japan and militarism. When you're finished, hit pause and get the notes for fascism in Spain. The United States responds cautiously. How did the United States respond to the rise of dictators? Most Americans wanted the United States to stay out of foreign conflicts. Many people thought that the United States had made a mistake in getting involved in World War I. Anti-war rallies were held. Isolationism became more popular. Congress passed neutrality acts. These laws banned loans or arms sales to nations at war. Because of the Spanish Civil War, the neutrality acts included those involved in civil wars. In 1937, Roosevelt found a way around the neutrality acts. Since Japan had not declared war on China, Roosevelt felt free to send military aid to China. He gave a speech in which he talked of quarantining the aggressor, but growing criticism from isolationists forced FDR to back down. Go ahead and hit pause to take the notes. And last set of notes, hit pause and finish the notes.